I'm Davey.
I'm Misty.
DM Watts.
Unscripted.
Unedited.
Unapologetic.
Let's get it. What's going on, everybody? I'm Davey.
I'm Misty.
And we are DM Watts. You guys, welcome to another episode of DM Watts, where we now have a website, DMWattPodcast.com. That's what it is. You guys head on over there. We got a bunch of great stuff over there.
What?
Yeah, but .com. Make sure you guys head over there. Like, we're really proud of it. You know, they're really proud of it. My wife, being the technological genius she is, definitely did up that website.
Thank you, baby.
Yeah.
You give me way too much credit.
Well, credit where credit is due.
Well, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
But we have all of our latest videos up there.
Uh-huh.
We have links to what may or may not be the most badass newsletter you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah.
And then we have the pledge to you.
Yeah.
Which just means you're going to pledge to take time out of the day for you.
For yourself.
Even a 5-minute, you're just going to make that pledge to be like, yeah, I like me.
Yeah.
And move on with your life.
Exactly.
That's cool. Or you can walk like us. I am so sore. I'm in so
It was a lot. It was a good walk this morning. Let's put it this way. I think we did like right at 2 miles. Yeah, we did right at 2 miles this morning, and had to getting all this COVID weight off.
We're getting the COVID weight off, and then we downloaded some stuff.
Yeah, we downloaded some stuff
that I'm not looking forward to.
Yep, that's all right.
And you can rest assured we're documenting it all over on TikTok.
Yeah,
because I learned TikTok.
Yep, and so it is what it is. So we're gonna go ahead and get all that out there. But hey, thank you guys once again, like we said, for joining us, and we're pretty happy about it. So without further ado, we're going to, well, hold on. I do have to say this.
Thank God.
Yeah.
I can breathe for another few seconds before my anxiety.
Yeah, I do have to say this because we didn't, Doge to the moon,
oh,
AMC
yes,
to the moon, and then we are part of the Sheba Army.
Yes.
We're getting a Sheba license plate.
We are.
We are getting a Sheba license plate, so people need to know
He wanted a personalized license plate that said Sheba, Sheba, whatever, and I was like, sure, why not?
We're getting a Sheba license plate, so we're pretty excited.
Why the hell not?
We're pretty excited about that. So, without further ado, it's the wifey's turn to pull from the fishbowl.
I'm already. I'm just riddled with. Now I'm gonna go extra slow.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, we get. Let's see what we got here.
Whatever.
It's gonna be a great.
And I'm
topic.
gonna tell you right now, no matter what it is, I'm not gonna put it back in the board. So. You remember that.
Okay, you remember that when you open it up.
Let's see. Uh-oh, it's all in caps. I wrote it all in caps, so I don't know how I feel about this.
What do we get?
I haven't read it yet. I just saw the caps.
You the one said we wasn't putting it back in there. What we got?
The fishbowl topic of today is, I can't even say it without laughing.
Okay, what is it?
Martin Luther King Boulevard. Why so shitty?
Lord. So
glad I said that.
Hey, here's the thing.
Last night was cancel culture.
Now we got this. So Martin Luther King Boulevard, right? Clearly named after great Dr. Martin Luther King.
Yes. And that's why I don't understand why it's so, and there's no other word for it.
Yeah.
Shitty.
When we say shitty, it's some of the most violent crimes that occurs on Martin Luther King Boulevard. Avenue, Boulevard, Street. It don't matter. No matter where it's at, the Martin Luther King Street, Avenue, Boulevard, whatever it is always like the worst place to be. It is like riddled with crime. It doesn't give the right respectful due to the late Martin Luther King. It does, and
that's what I've never understood. And growing up in the East Bay in California, we of course had several, depending on what city you were, in. But in Oakland, it was it was just all clubs. Yeah. And that was I was like, well, this is Martin Luther King. Like, I was a child. I'm like, but that's Martin Luther King Boulevard. And there's like a shooting here every night.
Yeah.
It's true. There are clubs and I never understood it. So then anywhere else I've been, It's always Martin Luther King Boulevard comes across the news.
It's like, dude, another shooting on Martin Luther King. Like we said, whether it's Boulevard, Avenue, Street, or whatever, it seems like that Martin Luther King, or the streets named after, you know what I mean, that just some of the great ones, you know what I mean, that are always seen to like, man, I don't understand, like these are named after great figures.
Yeah.
You know, they're supposed to have been, you know, figures, powerful figures that stood for peace and everybody getting along. And man, on those streets, they're some of the most dangerous streets. Like I got one like, well, it's not a political, it's not a figure for peace, but mine was Woodlawn. Like you couldn't, I don't know, like wherever you at, there's a Woodlawn. If there's a Woodlawn, you like, bruh, stay off that street.
We have a Woodlawn.
Yep.
So, we have a Woodlawn here.
Yeah. Yeah. And then Woodlawn, you need to.
Bad.
It's
bad.
You stay off of those. Like you're immediately gonna, that's where like for some odd reason you can go on these. So at least where I grew up, you had Woodlawn Mafia is what they call this, where we grew up at.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, Woodlawn Mafia. I mean, gangs. No, this is really what it was, but
it's also Broadway.
What's crazy is that was my next one.
Oh, Broadway, well, there you go.
Broadway was my next one.
This is why we're married.
Yeah,
this is why you have the ring, my love.
You too.
But yeah, Broadway. I mean, even apparently in Seattle, Sir Mix-a-Lot, his posse was on Broadway.
And here's the thing.
Here on Broadway, we play Pimps and Hoes.
Oh yeah,
we do. That's I raised my son playing Pimps and Hoes.
Yep, it's literally you go on Broadway out here. And you're there and be like, okay, so
doesn't matter what time of day either.
Because Pimps and Hoes have changed now. It's not. It's like Pimps and Hoes, and that's Tweakers. A man. That's.
Well, no, it's not even that. It's Tweakers. Now it's
Tweakers.
Pimps, Hoes, and Tweakers.
Because before, you know, when people think about crazy streets or crazy cities, you think Vegas. You know what I mean? At the top, you're like, okay, yeah, Vegas is crazy. Because if you've been to Vegas, Vegas got all that stuff on one strip.
Or like, New York.
Or New York, yeah. And even Cali. I mean, come on. I mean, we all got those streets or cities when you hear, you're like, nah, bro, I'm not going there. Even
in Wichita.
Right.
It's like, oh, I've seen some shit and we're not going to talk about it anymore.
Exactly. But also, here's the thing. Some of these streets also have been just hyped up by rappers.
True.
You know, or some of these places have been hyped up by rappers. So like, I'm not saying Compton ain't bad, but you know, so I'm not saying, but I also think that there are probably some great areas in Compton. There's not in the entire city of Compton is like
places
terrible.
In Compton, of course. And I haven't been there since, well, it's been a long time. And when I was there, it was the height of.
Really?
Yeah. And it was, but it's still. But I'm also one of those people, I can see the history, I can see the beauty, I can see, you know, things that that used to be. But I also grew up in that kind of neighborhood. So I have this, people call it the Pollyanna attitude, but no, it's just, I can see the beauty in everything.
Yeah. And that's
because you have to.
You have to, because now, I can tell you now, like, I grew up on the street called Diekman. D-I-E-K, Diekman. Diekman Court.
I thought you said Beekman for a minute, I went totally into Beekman's world.
Diekman. And like, you know, I see here and some of my, I've seen some of my people post on Facebook, people that I grew up with, it's like, bro, I don't go around the block no more. This is why I don't go around the block, because it seemed like every time I turn around, somebody's posting something like, hey, another shooting in Chicago. Yeah. Another shooting, you know, in Chicago. Like at one point, people was like, hey, there's more deaths in Chicago.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like the murder capital of the world. Like Chicago has some of the most strict gun laws around, and they got more murders than I don't know what. I'm not going to spit the statistics that I don't know. These are just things that.
It's just sad.
Yeah, it is. It's really sad. You know what I mean? And then like when I left, one of the things me and my friends noticed, I mean, because there were more fights happening. You know, when I left, there was an uptick and just like, man, it's a lot of gang fightings. Not saying that there weren't shootings and stuff, but like, you know, that's back when, you know, most of the time you getting jumped, you getting shot.
Oh, sure.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, and now.
Yeah. There was a time where it was, you were getting jumped or a knife. God forbid.
Hey, I've been jumped before. I've been jumped before. Me and my homie.
You were.
Oh yeah, me and my homie. We'll call him Chip. You know, so that's what he goes by now. I'm gonna tag you in this. But me and my homie, Chip, and my brother, I can remember watching one of my homeboys getting jumped, and by some grown men. grown men. I'm like 17. These dudes are easily in their late 20s and 30s getting jumped. Called myself game banging at that time. And I can remember running over there knowing this is not going to end well. These are grown men.
But you didn't bitch out.
No,
I want this known.
No, I didn't.
Because when you first told me the story when we were dating, I was like, okay, I'm waiting for the bitch out.
No. These were some grown men. I can remember they had jumped my boy. And I remember running over there. And I was like, get off of my, because you get that surprise hit, right? Everybody know about the surprise hit. You know what I'm saying? Because like, that's how when you started a story about how a fight went, you always gonna put emphasis on who threw the first punch and how hard they hit him.
That's true.
That's a surprise hit.
Yeah.
Because typically, even if dude hit him unsuspectingly, it's still, oh man, he knocked the hell out of him. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter. So I went for that one. This is before the TikTok and the thing when people look in the video like, as they going by, it was before all of that. It was before all the and you just
the Tweety Bird Space Jam.
It's a Space Jam reference, But yeah, so I went for the. I'm like, look, this is my moment. I'm gonna shine
I get
today. To show them that they finna be like, my name, Davey went hard in the paint. That's what they finna do. I went hard in the paint. I went hard on the paint. You understand what I'm saying? I went hard on the paint. Because I'm telling you, you ever been hit by a grown man as a teenager, like literally you start thinking about life.
And again, you weighed $110. I need people to understand you were.
Yeah, I was like, I probably was like 130. I was like 130 something.
There's
at
no
that time.
way you were.
Yo, man, I ran over there and I can remember jumping because I remember in my brain everything was happening in slow motion. I can remember jumping.
Yeah.
And I did
I
did the stupid swing. That's not the time when you think about how you swing. It's like, okay, I'm not supposed to close my hand until I connect. Nope, I went with the straight.
Oh,
basketball dunk punch. Like you finna. Let me jump off this curb and do that.
Kind of just slides off their head.
And then you end up hitting them like this. You don't even hit them like this.
Yeah.
You hit them like this. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those. Exactly.
Yeah.
So I hit him with one of those. I jumped off like, get off of him. And I'm not saying that it might have been a feminine yell when I hit him. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying, I went was like, get off of him. And then like, you ever had on like a ring and you connect wrong?
Yeah.
And you like, I hit him pretty good.
Yes.
But it is stinging because.
Yes.
Or you hit somebody like this.
Oh.
And like you ever hit this? Yep.
Right there. That
either
nerve.
that or it hit your knuckles. The zipper.
Oh.
The zipper hits your fingers.
Yes.
So you trying to play it off like, got your ass, didn't I? No. So I hit him. And I'm like, oh, it was kind of like, oh. And then he turned around and looked at me. It was one of those things like when you. It's one of those things in the movie where the big dude come up and you like, I'm finna knock his ass. You hit him and then he just looks up at you and you just look up at him like, you know what, man, all this. He did. It was kind of, I tried to get philosophical in my head, like, all this black on black crime needs to stop. I was like, we should stop this anyway.
What's going on at Martin Luther King Boulevard? I don't understand. This was not his dream.
Yeah, so I'm looking at my homeboy, but I'm just trying to get him off my homeboy. Sure. And I can remember, man, that dude grabbed me and it was 3 of them. These were grown men. I took 2 to the face, 1 to the chest, and then launched me over a car.
Oh.
And I can remember my homeboy Chip was like, I don't think so. He came out of nowhere. He the same age as me. He was bigger than me at that time, though. Chip was bigger than me. He came over, started laying on folks.
Did he really?
Oh, he just started welling on people. He got thrown over eventually too, because he's a grown man.
I love the fact that you were like, no, not today. And I may do it right. I may do it wrong. But
I got thrown.
This is what's gonna happen.
I got thrown, and he got thrown.
And I love that he came for you.
He definitely like me. Like I said, me and him. We been through the shit. Me and Chip been through the shit. I'm gonna tag him in this. He gonna know what I'm talking about. But
thank you, Chip.
Yeah. So, but we've been through me and him been through a lot. Then next thing you know, we hear my brother yelling, "Get off my brother!" Now, if I'm small, yes, I'm the older brother. My brother's like he's like 2 grades down. Get off my. They launched his ass too. You know what I'm saying?
For some reason, though, when you say that, because I know Tavares now, all I see is Jazz getting thrown out of the house.
It was something like that. It was like I'm telling you. I can tell you right now.
That's all I see.
I can tell you right now, they wouldn't try with either one of us now. I can tell you that right now. But back then, like I said, we were teenagers, doing stupid stuff.
What teenagers do
in the gangs, that's my point behind that is, things have changed. a lot to where it's like, even though Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard, this wasn't Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard, but I guess I took that a different way. But my point behind it was like the violence, the history of the come up of it all.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And it's just like, look, even on Martin Luther King, like, man, these places were always bad. But at this point, at this point, there's bad. And then there's like, bruh, do not go over there. Do not go over
and that's
there.
what it every time, because I have traveled this great country more than once. And every time I'm in a major city, there is always that exit. Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard. And I'm like, and nope, I will get gas at the next because I know what's going on there. And it sounds horrible, but it's true. Once you've grown up in hard areas, and you know what that street is like, it's just this PTSD in its own way.
It is. And me and Chip, we talk every now and then to this day, but once your friends, I'm saying, even though you drift apart, I can literally call Chip up now, and he's done it to me too, and just pick up the phone and just have a conversation. That's what it is. It don't matter how long we talk. We ain't talked in months.
That's how you know you've been through the shit together.
But I can tag him and he probably gonna laugh about it and just thinking about it.
It's the same with me. I mean, I was in some stuff, and I think it's a great, I want to throw this in here. It's a testimony to you and I. Like, the ones that went through it because they don't act like it.
Yeah, they don't act like it.
And we don't talk about it
whatsoever.
And we don't talk like it
whatsoever.
And we promised ourselves, of course, we didn't know each other, but we promised ourselves, because that's what you do when you grow up in that you will never go back to that.
Right. And that's the thing.
And 50% of us say we're getting out, we'll never go back, and 50% say this is my life and this is where I am. Exactly. There's nothing wrong with that
whatsoever.
I'm just saying, like, that whole atmosphere and everything, it's about getting out.
It is, because now you go back to the old neighborhood, the woodlines, saying, I'm sure the same thing with you. You go back to a woodline right now where you came from, and you're like, look, dude, I ain't even trying to get nothing to eat. But there's one thing besides violence that all these areas have in common: the Martin Luther Kings, the Woodline, the Broadways, all these things have in common. That's the best place to get food.
Oh my
God. The best places to eat.
Best food.
You got the best food in the worst parts of town. I'm gonna tell you right now. We used to go to, I told you about the Mexican restaurant I used to go to in Chicago Heights.
Yes.
Man, it was so amazing. Man, it was delicious. But it was the worst part of town. I'm like, okay, so can we take the worst type of car here? Let's not take a new car. Let's take who got the worst looking car? Okay, we're going in your car, and we're gonna go look. Can we order ahead? No, we can't. All right, look, let's just go in there, get our thing. Let's roll out. We ain't want no trouble.
But it's not just that. It's the food trucks, and it's and I know we're straying from the point, but I think this
is all part of the point.
But that's what I was getting ready to say.
All in it. This is all in the point.
It's all about the fact that no matter where you are, there is that street. Yeah. And it doesn't matter, but I mean, 9 times out of 10, it's Martin Luther King Boulevard.
Yep.
And it's sad because that is not his legacy.
It is not.
And I hate that.
Yeah. That is not his legacy. And there's another one. I just can't think of the name right off there's like 2 of them that dang on well, like, look, if you got this street, that you should not be there. And it's sad. You're just like, man, it shouldn't be that way. It just really shouldn't be that way. No. Those streets were named after these people because they promoted peace.
That's true.
They promoted peace, prosperity, everybody getting along. And it just really sucks. And it speaks to the testament. I have to say this. I personally don't believe that these places suck because of the people that are there. I think these places suck because of the conditions of the places that they put these streets at.
Yeah.
That's why they suck.
Yeah.
You're going to put a Martin Luther King Boulevard in a low income place, where people are struggling, where people are, you know what I'm saying? There's already probably a high crime area there anyway. Let's put it right here. Okay. Are you trying to make a point?
Because we're honoring you.
Yeah. Well, let's put it in one of the worst places that we can, and we know that things are going to get worse. So guess what? Now that is associated with something bad.
It's the same with parks.
Yeah. Truth.
It's the same with housing.
Mm-hmm.
Buildings.
Same with liquor stores. Same with liquor stores.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I ain't seen no liquor store named after people. But I'm just saying in general, it's the same with liquor store. Where they at? most of the time where your liquor store is at. Let's
the
be
liquor
real.
store we bought from when we owned the bar.
When we owned the bar, that liquor store was in some of the worst part of town.
Oh, it
one of the
was
worst part of town.
bad.
We would go to the liquor store to pick up our liquor for our bar, and if we weren't getting propositioned either with some type of drug or sex, it was just a good day. Must be their day off, or we too early, or something like that. So, and that's I'm just saying that's what it boiled down to.
They literally knew us.
Yeah.
Of course, we're hard to miss.
Yeah,
but,
exactly.
You know,
but that's the thing, you know what I mean? It's
it
like
was the same at our bar, though.
That's true.
Our bar in no way was classy.
Yeah.
In no way. Even though we wanted it to be, it was very much when I started before we bought it, and I was working there before I knew him. I loved it because it reminded me of home. It reminded me of Oakland. It reminded me of San Leandro. It was everybody from every background, every race, every ethnic origin. And we had the Kenyans at night, you know, and I adored it because, and they used to call it the UN.
Yeah,
because everybody came together
was there,
and no subject was off topic. It was a safe, talk about a safe space. It really was. At the same time, it really wasn't. Everybody was strapped. Like, it was scary.
It was a safe place for us.
We had some scary stuff going on.
People there, but you know, you were safe at the same time.
Yeah, and we had hookers and drug dealers and all of that. And I'm sorry, but if they could come and take a minute in our bar to chill.
It did not be about any of that.
And I didn't even care.
Chill.
Well, obviously, I mean, we made no money.
Yeah.
We were really bad at it. But I took solace in the fact that they came to our place. And we were not in the best of areas.
Yeah.
You know, the edge of a town, and things were kind of dodgy.
Yeah. But it's okay though. You know what I mean?
I also, again, we grew up in that atmosphere. And yes, we came out of it. But sometimes it's nice to revisit it. Yeah.
I mean, but a lot of, and at the time when you're that young, you don't realize like, hey, this is not a good place for you to be.
Because you're in it.
Because you're in it.
It's the frog in hot water.
If
you turn it up slowly, the frog doesn't jump out.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
Because it's just getting boiled. Thank you, Al Gore.
Yeah. And that's a good, I like that one too. Yeah. But I mean, at the end of the day though, you know, it's my thing when it came to this, I realized like, if you think we're on topic, we're not. It all messes well in together because
let's think of the topic as the metaphor.
The metaphor, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, look, it stands for peace. You know what I mean? The man's name stands for peace. I don't care how you feel about it. The man, you know, he was not perfect. None of us will say that.
No.
You know what I'm saying? But what he stood for, you know what I mean? I just feel like it's
as
a great.
My mother would say, perfect hung on the cross.
Yeah. I believe that.
You know,
I believe that, you know, what he stood for
was perfection.
Right.
I mean, he stood for
yeah. That's probably going to be a special on the
it should be.
Yeah.
Because he was brilliant and he was correct and he did promote peace. And yeah, sometimes to get peace, you got to be a little violent. I'm sorry. I believe that I've had to do it in my own life. But sometimes you have to speak your piece to keep your peace.
Yeah.
And sometimes that means I'm pulling out my piece so I can keep mine.
And that, unfortunately, is most likely what a lot of happens on these streets, the Martin Luther King boulevards, the Woodlawn. And it's like, look, you don't want a road strap, but you also don't want to be robbed. You know what I'm saying? You also don't want to be robbed.
I don't want to be killed today.
Yeah, you don't want to be any of that stuff. Which obviously they say violence begets violence, right? Yeah, you can go in there and be like, no, I'm all about peace and I'm not going to carry a weapon. Okay, but you get on some of these streets, you don't carry a weapon. Okay, let's rob them. After a while, you're like, okay, so that shit ain't happening again, and I need to take steps to make sure. So what are you gonna do? You get you a weapon, and it's a repeated cycle.
Yeah, and it does. You know what I mean, it is a vicious cycle. It is cyclical. But
what can you do though? At the end of the day, you know, what can you do? But that's what we talked about.
It's hard because again, I grew up watching Oakland like burn.
Yeah.
And then it recreate itself to a time of peace.
Right.
And now it just kind of seems iffy.
Yeah.
But I feel like every neighborhood is iffy right now because we've been so on edge with the pandemic that we're still in, and just with jobs and wages and unemployment and everything happening and credit. Let's talk about credit for a minute.
That's a fishbowl topic. We will light that one up. We will light that one up.
Designed to help.
Yeah, it is not. And the thing, what I will say that I have noticed what this pandemic has happened with this pandemic. One, we've gotten further apart as a country, you know, as a people, but we've also come closer together in certain aspects. We realize our government doesn't work for us the way that we thought. You understand what I'm saying? Spreading misinformation, spreading, you know what I'm saying? Oh, get the vaccine, don't get the vaccine. Spreading confusion, wear a mask, don't wear a mask. You know what I mean? Oh, you ain't nothing if you don't wear a mask. You ain't nothing if you don't agree with the president, this and this and that. It is divided. What we have found, at least in our state, and what has made everybody come together in our state is like, look, you work this long, you're supposed to pull unemployment. There are people still waiting up to a year and haven't received any unemployment. And I ain't trying to take that on a rant. Maybe that's another fishbowl topic, but it needs to be said. You know, say there are people just waiting and waiting and waiting, and they should be ashamed of themselves. But that's just my opinion.
Well, and I think it just boils down to I personally am sick of great names, great people of history, people that tried to move our country forward and united.
Yeah.
And it being destroyed.
Yeah.
Because that's what this topic is. It's about this person in history that tried to move us forward and it getting destroyed continuously. The unemployment system is screwed. Yeah. Everything is screwed.
Yeah,
but do you see what I mean? Like, it's just, I'm sick of all these things that we're trying to, you know, help us get destroyed because we can't move forward. That's because the government has always tried to stop us. And I'm not on the government. I love America. I love democracy. I think it's amazing. Yes. But I think it's skewed.
Of course.
And right now, it's like
it's
nobody knows what they're doing.
Yeah, and then the misinformation and let's point the fingers. Here's the thing.
It's always something.
You know, everybody knows here, and you know, I'm so glad we did pull this topic because you can even relate this to different movements. You got the Black Lives Matter movement, you know what I'm saying? Still talk about, you know, civil and equal rights. Hey, we want to be treated fairly, so on and so forth. Yeah, there are parts of that movement that I don't agree with, that people have taken that what Black Lives Matter is actually trying to fight for and have made it into something that it's not, with the looting and, you know, the shooting, beating up people, so on. No, that's not what the movement is supposed to be about. You understand what I'm saying? But it's just about, you know, the inequality, treating people wrongly, and so on and so forth. But, you know, when it's like I said, but when you put people in a position where they ain't got nothing, to quote Tupac, somebody got to explain why I ain't got shit. You know what I'm saying? That's what it boils down to. Somebody got to explain why the hell I ain't got shit. Why I got to grow up like this. You know, why Martin Luther King Boulevard got to be like this.
Yeah, it should.
You understand
be.
why I got to be like this? You understand? And most of the time in a predominantly, you know, minority area. Yeah. That's where they put them at. You know what I'm saying? I don't never see no Martin Luther King Boulevard in places like, I don't know, Country Club Hills, Illinois. I don't see no Martin Luther King Boulevard there. I mean, I'm just saying, you know, yes, the name says it all. Country Club Hills. You think you're gonna find a Martin Luther King Boulevard there? You will not. You understand what I'm saying? Anything with the name estates in it, you will not.
Look, the division in this country will stop when they decide to stop dividing us. And that is just it.
Yeah, that's what it boils down to.
When they start putting all of this in the same neighborhood as that neighborhood, guess what? It'll stop. It'll stop, but they won't do it.
That's what it is.
I was looking at, I wanted to put up that July 6th was Chicago's most violent weekend of 2021. And 104 were shot, 19 killed, 13 kids were wounded. And it's like, this is stupid, but this is what happens in the name of peace. This happens in neighborhoods where a major thoroughfare is named after a man of peace.
Right.
And his ideas were of peace. Again, he was not a perfect man. He did his own things. I don't care.
Yep.
He tried to unite our country, and we honor him by putting his name on places and things that.
Yeah. But I'm here to tell you, if you want people to find, no, you're right. If you want people to be peaceful, stop putting them in predicaments where they ain't got nothing but to resort to violence to get what they need, or the wrongdoing to get basic necessities.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You just like I said, unemployment. You got people that bust their butts for pennies, and then they apply for unemployment stuff that they have paid into.
And here's what's,
and you like, well, it's gonna be about 6 to 8 months before we can get it to you.
But here's
what?
even more amazing. You were at a gas station today, and the gentleman behind you, the gentleman behind you has been furloughed from his company.
Yes.
A major airplane manufacturer.
Yep.
Seven times.
And not once had he received unemployment.
One penny.
Not once has he seen unemployment. And this ain't a black or white thing, because the gentleman was white. This ain't a black or white. He was white, and literally he was buying a 24 case of beer.
Was he in the car next to us, the truck?
Yeah, he was in the truck next to us.
And this was not a young man. This
he
is
was
a
an older
man that's
gentleman.
been working at this place for a long time.
And the place just called him and said, "Hey, we got a job. We're gonna bring you back to work on Monday."
On Monday.
And it's been months. This man ain't just seen no unemployment. But hey, you know what I mean? What do we know? You know, we're just a podcast, just spreading the truth. That's what it is.
And I'm sorry, we did, you know, it's not that we went off topic, because again, it's a metaphor. Think about it. The next time you see Martin Luther King Jr.'s name, think about
where you're at.
Think about where you are.
Next time you see Martin Luther King Jr.'s name on the street, ask yourself, do I need to lock my doors? Ask yourself, are your doors locked?
And if that
because
answer,
think around the area you're at, are you locking your doors?
If that answer is no, then please send me a picture of it and write me and tell me why. Is it because you grew up there? Yeah. Because here's the thing, the area I come from, it's the only place on earth I can sleep. In the middle of the gunshots, in the middle of the bumping, in the middle of everything, I can sleep with the door unlocked because I was raised in it.
Card hold facts, people.
Wait, sorry. PTSD.
Card hold facts.
Hard code facts. Well, that was good.
Yeah, that's I did that.
I mean, look, you could say that too.
Card hold facts. That's what it is. Card hold facts, people. Hashtag card hold facts.
That's my new hashtag right there.
Yeah, it probably is. When I put this up, it's gonna be card hold. If our dog walk past our knees one more time. But anyway. But yeah, no, that's our take on it. You know what I'm saying? Martin Luther King.
It is. And just seriously though, no, I just, I'd love to hear other people's opinion on this. Show me where your Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard is.
Yeah.
Show me what it is.
Send us a picture of it. Y'all know what it is. DMYpodcast@gmail.com.
And then give me your opinion on it. Give us your opinion, because this is something, we're of that generation where we're like, hey, what the hell is this?
Yep. So I tell you what, guys, that's our take on this Martin Luther King Jr. thing. So, but understand this, that, I realize it may seem like we went off topic, but it all goes in together.
It does somehow.
You know what I'm saying? So it all rolls in together.
There's a chalkboard and you got to draw the lines.
If you did,
and CSI it. You'll figure it out. Look at it
this way. We ain't got a fishbowl topic on this, but chalk that up with things that make you go, not ill, but So there you have it. And that's one of them. So, hey, guys, look, thanks for tuning in with us. You guys know to find us at dmypodcast.com and all those streaming services. Check out the website, guys. A lot of great stuff. We got a lot of swag on there for you guys. There's a lot of info for you guys to just know about us, get to know us a little bit better.
Sure.
And so, hey, you guys, obviously, Goes to the Moon, AMC, and we are still part of the Shima Army.
We are.
So signing off for DM Watts, I am Davey.
I'm Misty.
And we will see you guys next time. Take it easy out there.